Hey everybody, I'm Justin with AmericanMuscle.com, and this is going to be my detailed breakdown and install of the SR Performance Adjustable Coilover Kit, available for your 2015 and newer Mustang. I do plan on covering a lot of ground about the SR coils in this video. I'm going to talk about some of the benefits of installing an adjustable coilover kit like this. We'll break down the total range of adjustment here with the SR kit, and then finally give you a brief little overview of the installation process. And I will say one of the nice things about a coilover like this is that you don't have to mess with those spring compressors, but there is still work to be done. So I'm going to go 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter with some more detail later on. So the SR Performance Coilover Kit should appeal to a wide range of S550 owners out there, from the daily drivers to the road course warriors who want one of the most affordable coilovers in the category, one that will offer both height and damping adjustment, and finally one that will offer a monotube design. Now these coilovers will also offer one of the biggest drops in the category, ranging from 1 to 3 inches, which is enough to essentially lay the car on the ground. And I do think the adjustability will be the biggie here with the SR Performance coilovers. Again, 1 to 3 inches of total height adjustment, but in addition to that, you're also getting 16 ways of damping adjustment as well. And this will give prospective buyers the ability to firm or soften up the shocks and struts depending on your driving style, and even make some tweaks to the shocks and struts if you're doing some drag racing or maybe some road course racing. But first, let's break down your top 3 choices when it comes to lowering your Mustang in a nutshell. First and foremost, you have your springs, right? The most common, the most affordable way to lower your ride, but you're not getting any height adjustment out of those springs. Your second most common option will be a coilover like this. Yes, you're spending a little bit more money, but you're getting the height adjustability in addition to damping adjustability in most cases. Last but certainly not least, you have your air ride. Yes, you're getting that height adjustability on the fly. In most cases, you're also seeing some kind of damping adjustment, and in most cases, the air ride will be your most expensive setup. And while you can still spend big money on a coilover, that certainly isn't going to be the case here at the SR Performance options. Again, at the time of this video, these guys are the most affordable on the site at right around that $900 price point. And that does tend to be the SR Performance way. They're going to offer affordable solutions for common needs in the performance world. Now, full disclosure, guys, I've actually had the SR Performance coilovers installed on my S197 GT for a couple of years now, and honestly, I really have no complaints. I'm really happy with how they ride. The handling performance is great, in addition to the height and damping adjustment. Now, granted, I know it's not the same generation, but the same idea applies. It's really the same coilover, just made to fit different generations. And overall, again, I really couldn't be happier given the fact that these are a budget-friendly coilover. But let's get a little further into the coilovers themselves here. We talked about that height adjustment. Again, 1 to 3 inches, the biggest drop in the category. You're also getting that 16-way adjustability when it comes to damping, which I really enjoy on a budget coilover like this, because it does allow you to kind of tweak these things depending on your driving style or your situation. For instance, if you're a drag guy, you can use these things, play with the damping a little bit, help you leave the line a little bit better. Or if you're just a casual owner, you can kind of set them up to however you prefer. Now, for me, for instance, again, I have these things. I prefer them a little bit more on the firm side. That's just me. I think the ride's a little sportier, the car feels a little flatter, a little bit more responsive overall. But that's totally your call. And again, the fact that you are getting this 16-way adjustment on such an affordable coilover is a nice thing to point out. Also worth pointing out, the SR Performance coils do feature what is called a monotube design in place of a twin tube design. And we can talk about the differences in design until we're blue in the face, but you and I don't have time for that. So let's break it down in a nutshell. Now, that monotube design is typically a little bit more money to produce, and it is something you're going to see typically more in competition style racing because of a couple of different reasons. Now, the monotube will feature more capacity overall, in addition to a larger piston inside of that monotube, which typically will react a little faster, deliver a more consistent performance, and is going to improve heat dissipation. You're not going to have to worry about aeration with these things or anything like that. Now, typically a monotube shock will ride a little firmer than a twin tube, so that is something to be mindful of if these things are going on your daily. But with all that said, let's break down what you are actually receiving with the SR Performance coilover kit. And as you can see, I pretty much have everything laid out on the table here in front of me. You are receiving those 4 monotube dampers, the 2 struts, the 2 shocks. The 2 strut assemblies are already fully assembled for you. So again, these guys are ready to rock and roll right out of the box. The 2 rear shocks again go in the factory replacement or location, and the rear springs sit on the adjustable purchase here. And again, these guys go where your factory rear spring would go. Now the strut assembly here, I'll demonstrate for you guys. This is where you're gonna do your damping adjustment, this little knob, soften or firm up the ride quality here. And the coilovers do feature a built-in caster camber plate, giving you some adjustment there, which is a nice thing to point out. SR is also tossing in some burly adjustable end links for the front sway bar. And last but not least, you are receiving your collar wrenches here. And these guys will of course be used to adjust the height of your Mustang once everything is installed. But let's switch gears entirely and get into the installation process. Just give you a brief little overview here so you kind of have a better idea of what to expect when it does come time to start wrenching. And as I pointed out at the top of this video, guys, 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter is what you can expect here. Maybe a few hours to a half a day in the garage or shop to get these puppies in place, depending on your level of expertise. Again, this is gonna be a little bit easier than your traditional spring install, in my opinion, because as you can see, these guys are completely ready to go right out of the box. So for the fronts, you're essentially just removing the entire stock strut assembly and replacing the SR in its place. You are gonna use, of course, those adjustable end links that we talked about to secure the coilover to your front sway bar there. The rears are a little bit more involved, I think, because you do have to kind of loosen up those rear subframe bolts, let that actual subframe hang a little bit more so you can kind of squeeze the new spring and perch in place. Again, just make sure you have the correct tools for the job in this regard. Socket set really is gonna be a biggie here. A lift will make life a whole lot easier, trust me, because doing the rear subframe bolts on your back on jack stands just really isn't all that fun, but can be done if you need to. Guys, again, this one really isn't all that difficult. After everything is installed, you will have to adjust the height slightly, just get everything evened out. And of course, after you lower the Mustang, do yourself a favor, take it to an alignment shop just to have everything checked out, and you should be good to go. Wrapping things up here with the SR Performance coilovers, I think these are a great value, and here's why. You're getting a 1 to 3 inches of height adjustment, 16-way damping adjustment, and that pretty desirable monotube design, all for south of $1,000. Listen, are they gonna ride as nice as a $2,500 set of KW variants? Well, probably not, but they are gonna be pretty solid overall. Again, give you guys some adjustment, give you some stuff to play with, and they're gonna ride pretty damn good in the process. So that is my review here of the SR Performance coilovers for your 2015 and newer Mustang, which you can grab right here at AmericanMuscle.com.